Murder, She Wrote. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Bing, devoted to Jim. Jim, let's get on with it, shall we? Exodus, Impact is Imminent. What was that last? Was it Exodus we listened to as of recent? They had a tune on it called. Was it Brain Dead? It was fucking sick. It was one of the better thrash tracks I've heard in a long while, to be honest. What a great riff. Impact is Imminent is the title track. 9 tracks. A relatively long record, as we've got some longer length numbers on here. Let's not waste no time. Shout out to everybody out there today, all the thrashers, all the metalheads. All the dance floor fillers. Don't blame us. Don't bore us, get to the chorus, yeah? Gary Holt said it's the best riff he ever wrote, says Vincent Alley. Love them vocals. Steve Zetro Souza. Put some respect on Zetro, man. Them vocals are ignorant. Sounds like a crossover hardcore band. Corker of a track to open up with her. Everyone getting gassed. Hey, they said it, so I assume it's right. Said Gary Holt said it was his favourite riff. Everyone's gassing the riffs and all this and that. Between you and me, I don't think it's the best Exodus riff I've heard. When we heard that Brain Dead tune, Brain Dead, which in my opinion, after listening to it a few times, was like if AC/DC played metal instead of hard rock. If you listen back to that tune and you approach it like that, it sounds like an AC/DC tune. But with that being said, it was a good riff. It was a ferocious track. We didn't stop to breathe for one moment, did we? I'm looking forward to hearing what we got from here on in. AWOL coming up next, yeah? There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV signing in. AWOL is track number 2 of 9 on Impact. Impact is imminent by Exodus. Let's just flipping jump in, shall we? I'm raging. Come on now. Bap, bap, bap.
Decorated in the war, U.S. ambassador. Caught selling secrets to a foreign conspirator. Pledged allegiance to the red, white, and the bluest government. Tickets and the revenue. Share the document. Research dick. Called the dick when he got caught. The proof was evident. Traded to the cause. Broke all the high sauce. Why is he so greeted with a big applause? American disgrace. Patriot. Gone to waste. Took a little taste and had to have it all.
Bap, bap, bap. Bap, bap, bap.
American disgrace. Patriot. Gone to waste. Grievous is survived when he took the fall. Betrayed the fatherland. The flag enough for which to stand. Traded to the cause they war. Now media star. The whole thing is so bizarre. How the turncoats. Riches seminars. Being after us to see a man who sold out to greed. Better take down to make the nation bleed. New books a bestseller. TV movie in the cellar. Unpatriotic. That's it should be a prison dweller. I ain't dead alibi. Nothing but a pack of lies. Just another felon. Wearing in the sky. American disgrace. Patriot gone to waste. He took a little taste and had to have it all. Betrayed the fatherland. The flag enough for which to send desertion was a plan he chose to call. American disgrace. Patriot gone to waste. Grievous his demise when he took the fall. Betrayed the fatherland. The flag enough for which to send traded to the cause they war.
Fat tone. Fat hecking tone on that. Some girth on that. Come on now. Kick into a double time. Give me a double time. Get onto the double time. Go on, I'm begging you. What did I tell you? The double time. Come on now. Hear the echo off of that snare drum. Da-da-da-da. Let's go.
American disgrace. Bitchy had gone to waste. She took a little taste and had to have it all. Betrayed the fatherland. The flag enough for which his desertion was a plan he chose to call. American disgrace. Bitchy had gone to waste. Grievous his demise when he took the fall. Betrayed the fatherland. The flag enough for which his traded to the gods they wall. 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 Traded to the gods they wall.
Hard, very good, very good. Nice to get back into the mid-tempo riffs. Great work. What's he called? Gary Holt, yeah? Gary Holt isn't a guy I'm too familiar with purely as I wasn't really into Exodus or any of Gary Holt's project. I think he went on to perform in Slayer, right? But when I was younger, I didn't really... I don't even know if he was in Slayer when I was younger. But Gary Holt isn't a character I was that fascinated with, nor really knew much about when I was younger. So in my older years, you know, I just listened to the band as a whole as opposed to like each individual musician. But I say that to say this as like a bit of an outlier with some of the riffs I've heard from Exodus. Gary Holt might be a standout, you know, musician, as to which I'm very invested in. Well, I'm not invested in, don't get me wrong, I don't care that much, but I think he's good. I think he stands out. I think his riffage is really good, really good. Lunatic Parade coming up next. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in, listening to Exodus. Lunatic Parade is track 3 of 9 on Impact is Imminent. This entire listen through goes out to my friend Jim, who recommended this on the Patreon. Thank you very much, Jim. Really enjoyed this so far. Let's go. Sounds like March of the SOD. Someone's got to mention it sounds like March of the SOD in the comments. I mean, someone references a march, but not directly. You can go march in the Lunatic Parade or dance for Toxic Waltz. Oh, someone says Stormtrooper of Death by SOD. Someone says a resemblance, more like a total rip. Cool rhythm to it. Fat fucking tone on that guitar, right?
dismembers you. Coming from hell or wherever you came. Slums of the world are to us all the same. Step up and join us now and don't be afraid. Our body's starting to become a charade. Lunatics everywhere will all act the same. And when the sight just starts, there's no one to blame. There's no one left to down as they've been arrayed. They all have joined us in a lunatic parade. Lunatic parade. A lunatic parade. Lunatic parade. Lunatic parade.
Can hear that bass popping there and the nice rattle of the bass, just like laying the foundation of the sound we're hearing it. Of course, you get a nice punch from that kick as well. Don't really pay attention to the bass frequency much. Let's go.
The clowns when the circus comes to town, gather all around. Come on to the next show, parade along with us. You won't be forgotten.
Fascinating comment. Rodney put... So obviously there's always a dispute about who should be in the big four. People say Testament, people say Exodus, people say Creator and whatnot. But this guy says suicidal tendencies. That's the first... I mean, obviously it says Pantera as well. Never heard that before. Like, no chance. But that's the first time I've seen suicidal tendencies referenced in relation to the big four, or at least the big five. Or at least this guy's composing his own five, saying, well, he said the fifth could be Testament. Who cares what he's saying? But suicidal tendencies is an incredibly fascinating idea, because as far detached as they are from the metal, or at least original metal of the big four, it is a possibility. I'd replace... I mean, honestly, I'd replace Megadeth with Suicidal as far as my personal tastes. But as far as what makes sense, you know, I'd replace Anthrax with Suicidal Tendencies, personally. That would be blasphemous to some, but...
Slums of the world are to us all the same. Step up and join us now and don't be afraid. This body's starting to become a
I was listening to a couple of self-titles recent. The Suicidal Tendencies self-titled, which is a great hardcore punk record, and the self-titled Body Count record, which is kind of shit in all honesty, but there's some great moments. Voodoo, the riff on it, Voodoo is a great shit. And of course, like, Cop Killer is arguably probably top 5 best tracks of all time. So fucking good. I got my ski mask on. Let's go. Lunatic Parade. Very good. Very good. Very good. Not letting us down on this record, are they? Not letting us down. Within the Walls of Chaos coming up next. Yes, there's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, listening to Exodus. No, wait till I get my money right. Impact is imminent. Track 4 of 9 is entitled Within the Walls of Chaos, not to be mistaken for the Archangel number that is entitled Within the Walls of Babylon, which is a hard tune. If you like metal, check that out. This entire listen through goes out to my good friend Jim. Jim, shall we jump in? A major 7 minutes 43 on this one. Let's go. Luigi Acosta says, I can care less what the elitist metalheads say. Impact is Imminent is the best Exodus album of all time. Between you and me, people, as someone who's been into metal for a little while now, alright, I've been into metal for a little moment, not as long as the next people, but as far as my investment in the consumption and creation of metal music and alternate musical circuits and expressions, let me tell you one thing I know. Any metal elitist has got shit taste. They've all got shit taste. They've all got shit taste. There's no person, you realise this when you get older, those whom are categorised by yourself, if not themselves, if not the people around them, as an elitist, they got terrible taste. They always have terrible taste. It's only the open-minded people who don't mind listening to a little bit of this, a little bit of that. As long as they enjoy it, they wear it with pride on their chest. Yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy that. Yeah, not too bad. And they don't feel that they have to opt out of things purely because they have to gatekeep to whichever degree and they have to be right and wrong through their own egocentric perspective of music, right? Feeling that their opinion transcends the general populace in this insecure way. It's always insecurity. These people got the worst fucking opinions of all time. Whereas the dudes who enjoy Metallica, the dudes who enjoy listening to Sleep Token because they can accept these, you know, they're not afraid to accept what they enjoy. And they don't feel like they can't enjoy Metallica because they're the most mainstream metal band and whatnot. These are the people who actually have genuine good taste because they won't be afraid to put you on to some good music. They won't be afraid to listen to the music you're willing to show them. And they'll tell you what they like and hopefully they'll tell you what they don't like as well. You know? That's a strong person. Those who can have open discussion about what they do like and what they don't like without coming across as like being a scapegoat type. I went on a tangent, I digress. I don't even have a point to make. It just is what it is. We've all met them people, haven't we? And it's like the people who are elitists do genuinely just enjoy shit music. Just rubbish music. And they're boring people. The elitists listen to music that you can't go and have a dance to or anything. Just boring shit music all the time. Just stand at the corner with your arms crossed music. Am I wrong? These people always are attracted to this style of music. Or you probably wouldn't even know of them. Oh, bloody blah. Yeah, because nobody knows of them because they're shit and nobody enjoys them. I'd rather listen to Bob Marley. New York hardcore. Sounds like Breakdown or something.
Drugs, gas, greed that touches everyone and everything within the walls. There's no escaping the disease. Sidewalks turn to pharmacies, all the pimps and pushes, territories, dollars pouring in from the victims trapped within. Schoolyards a place of sorrow, pray your children live to see tomorrow. Place some mothers cry and kiss their dying sons goodbye. Living in a state of fear, afraid of everything they see. I hear someone they love may get shot for drugs they never even bought. This way of life, revenge, living with a gun, a knife, pickaxe or a bitch. They'll leave you dying in a ditch. Gotten the hypnotic spell, their lives story they never lived to tell in a hazy curtain. They can't see the end of certain imprisoned by narcotic chains. Life for some will never be the same. Trapped in walls of glass, hoping that this all will pass, but some will find a way outside. Face evil, eyes open wide, break the bonds and pull you in, escape the hell that thrives. Within the walls of chaos and despair, most are unemployed, living on welfare. Prowling the halls, the vultures come to feed on the flesh of those who are enslaved to the need. The final curtain falls, but no one sheds a tear. The pleas for help always seem to fall upon deaf ears. Within the walls of chaos they forgot that dignity and sanity are things that can't be bought.
Come on, kick it in. Give me a good riff. Come on. Give me a good rhythm.
With every passing day, another light is cast astray. Where the wrong colors and you might get blown.
Would have sounded better on the crash as opposed to the hi-hat there.
Turn of a page, another name's lost off the list. Shot between the eyes with the ring clenched in his fist. Driven to the grave, ruled by need for kicks. Extract their own gold teeth to satisfy their fix. There's cracks in the foundation. The time will soon arrive when the walls will crumble down and bury everyone alive. Within the walls, within the walls out, within the walls, within the walls out, within the walls, within the walls of chaos.
Let's go. Heavy metal. Make this album an 8-track album. Get rid of this off of the record. Worst track on the record so far. Not that good. That was a filler tune. Couple of good grooves, yeah, don't get me wrong. Filler. It's not a bad track, but compared to what we've heard, nah, get rid of this. Uphold the standard. This brings the standard down, in my opinion. We got Objection Overruled coming up next. There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV signing in, listening to Impact is Imminent by Exodus. Track 5 of 9 is entitled Objection Overruled. Alright, let me make myself a bit smaller. It comes with a little cheeky video. Let's jump straight in, shall we? Lego! Face the judge. Madhouse Mortuary says, as a law student / metalhead, this track is so fitting for me right now. I'm asking the people right now, do you want your lawyer to be a metalhead? I'm not casting judgment, I'm just asking you. If you got in trouble and you needed a representative and that person came up to you and that person listened to Exodus on their time off, what do you think? My lawyer needs to listen to strictly classical music. I can't have anything else. Maybe a little bit of Ed Sheeran on the radio as they're going to get their morning coffee from Starbucks. Before their studies, before their work day. I'm not having anything less. You're not allowed to listen to music. No, I'm not going to prison. Thomas Farmer says the other big four: Exodus, Overkill, Nuclear Assault and Testament. With all due respect, Nuclear Assault shouldn't be in that list. Nuclear Assault shouldn't be in that list. One reply. Someone says swap out Nuclear Assault with Death Angel. I wouldn't even say Death Angel should be in the list. Just due to depth of the catalogue, you know? I want a nice big full catalogue. That was my issue with Nuclear Assault. Exodus, Overkill, Testament. For the sake of everyone who argues for him, I'd say put Creator in there, yeah? Would you put Sodom in there? Or are they a bit too dark? You know? Come on. Sounds like a siren. Let's go. Great performance all around. That, no doubt, is thrash metal. Let's be fair. That was thrash metal. Unfortunately, you know, the quality of the sound was deteriorated a little down to the fact it was a music video, but Exodus have placed it in their official playlist, so I'm not going to disagree with them. God damn! Looks like KSI a little bit, don't you think? Right, we got Only Death Decides coming up next. Yes, there's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV signing in. We're listening to Exodus, Impact is Imminent. Track 6 and 9 is Only Death Decides. This title is through goes out to Jim, who recommended us on Patreon. Let's flip and go. Give me the riffs. Huh. This is a dance floor filler, this one. Come on. Hole says, how come tones sounded so much better in the 80s? I think... it's kind of mad, really. It's kind of mad. It's kind of mad. I would agree with that comment. Well, I don't think this is an 80s record, is it? This was like 90, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Have we got a date? Released in 1990, so it's not necessarily an 80s record, although it probably was composed in the 80s, late 80s. I think if the production is optimal, the tones probably are better in the 80s. When the production is really good from the late 90s onwards into the 2000s, it just becomes too tech heavy. You know, the production, the sound engineering is just too tech forward as opposed to relying on quality sounds via the instrumentation. Bad or cheaper production in the 80s sounds shit though, sounds shoddy. Honestly, some of these thrash classics, like the early days of some of these thrash bands, the albums just don't sound that good to me because the production is too gritty and just crap. Organic. I want to hear my punk rock organic, but I like my metal being a little more fluffy, a little more polished, you know. So yeah, I think mid 80s onwards, I think the guitar tones and whatnot were probably a lot better than the 90s and then the 2000s. But better than the 90s purely down to a sign of the time sort of thing, because you know, the 90s were more focused on other things as far as like metal was concerned, like drop tuned guitars to Kingdom Come and 7 strings and stuff. The whole new metal thing, you know. And as some said, groove metal, a lot of these bands were going into a groovier style in the 90s. Who wants that? Vortice says this is one album that would benefit from a re-recording or a remix. What? What? No. The guitars literally have no mids. The bass tone is weak AF. The drums sound like they were recorded with terrible mics. What? No. The person he responded to was called Nate Higgers. I don't need to go into any more depth on that. Let's go. Come on, that tone is great. The production is fantastic. Let's go. Better. Hooligan riff. Heavy metal, come on. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You're dead broke, the washed out decide where you go. Can't you see what that decides for me? You'll never know until death decides. Where you go? Where you go? Where you go?
That was sick. Whoever had a qualm with the production is just a muppet, absolute shambles of a person. That the tone is fantastic. The production is really good. Great riffs in that one. Only Death Decides. Great flipping number that. Let's keep on moving. Heads Day Win coming up next. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. Impact is Imminent is the record we're listening to. Track 7 of 9 is entitled Heads Day Win. Tails You Lose, which is a terrible song title, but here we are. Track 7 and 9, let's go. Impact is Imminent. Oh, this song. Floridian Thrasher says most underrated band in metal. Bullshit. Come on. Exodus. One of the most underrated bands in metal is a band called Mother of Mercy that have come and gone, put out 2 albums, 2 full lengths, and a couple of EPs prior to that, if not a demo as well. Mother of Mercy, if you like hardcore with a touch of Iron Maiden and not even Maiden, a touch of Metallica in the riffs, like just great riffage, man. Proper good. And another metal hardcore crossover band called flipping what they called? Guilty as Charged. Bitter End. Bitter End are one of the most underrated bands in metal as well, albeit a hardcore band. They're very, very metal adjacent in the realm of like the early Cro-Mag stuff. Check out the record, Guilty as Charged by a band called Bitter End. Fucking sick. Yo, I said this was a shit album title. It's quite funny actually, because I never took into consideration the actual title. I actually take it back. I'm dumb as fuck. I didn't even understand it. They're winning either way. If it's heads, they win. If it's tails, we lose. They win. Both ways. As if. Or at least we lose both ways. They might only win one way, you know. I didn't even clock onto that. This is a bit of a budget riff, this one. Sounds like a riff I'm familiar with. It sounds like a riff called Medario stomped by a band called One Life Crew.
So did I, damn did it all. Given any moment you can win or fall. The money you owe, the money you bet. You caught digging in the job that this world's red. They're taking the car, you don't pay your bets. They're gonna foreclose on all the rest. How did you get your life in this mess? The people start to take that show. You feel your blood begin to boil when the wheel starts to roll. Don't be late to pay your dues, or you'll get your concrete shoes. Heads to win, tails you lose. The people start to take that show. You feel your blood begin to boil when the wheel starts to roll. Don't be late to pay your dues, or you'll get your concrete shoes. Heads to win, tails you lose.
Fresh.
Take a good look at your bet your last buck. You don't duck tails and you're out of luck. You better skip down 'cause your captain was done. You borrowed from no jocks that didn't report. Your name is on hit lists all over town. The word on the street just a baby that's clown. Your lease on life is about to expire. Disease has fallen. It's time to retire.
It was an alright tune. It was better than Within the Walls of Chaos. The sort of mid-tempo riff though wasn't very I'm not here to listen to tech death, but it wasn't technically as proficient as what we generally hear from, you know, the rhythm section. I want to hear some top quality riffs as a constant. Not because it's impossible, because it's the standard this band puts forward, and I just thought that was a bit of a lackluster riff, or a lackluster filler to say it was, you know, a good third of the song. But other than that, it was okay. It was not a bad tune, not the best one. Changing of the Guard, track number 8, coming up next. Yes, now bless now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Changing of the Guard. Track 8 of 9 on Impact is Imminent by the band Exodus. Let's jump straight in. Am I the one who thinks this sounds quite messy? Like quite a messy sound on this? The guitars sound really dissonant. They sound odd. The guitar sounds shit. These guitars don't cooperate well with each other at all. The interval, the harmony is just not great. Quite funny because we've got commenting on this video a guy called Phil CL Selmo 9436. I actually think whomever is behind that account comments on this channel, King of the Pit TV, every once in a while. So if you happen to be watching this for some reason, yeah, let me give a shout out to you, you know. This sounds so messy. The rhythm guitars sound absolutely shit on this song. Honestly, it sounds shit. The whole record sounds so clear, so concise, so coherent, so powerful, so concentrated. And this has just been a blur of just horrible guitar work, man. It's like just listening to mud. If one of the guitars was a more higher register than the others, then we'd probably be able to work out the double thing. But because we've got like just a flipping, what would you call it, a minor third interval or something between both, it just sounds shit, man. I don't know the interval, by the way. I'm just telling you what I think I'm trying to say. Bottom line is I don't like what I heard on that one. Ba-da-bum! Yeah, that was rubbish. At one point, I actually had to go back a couple of seconds on this song just to make sure I wasn't playing two songs at the same time. Like, that's how confused I was. Yeah, rubbish. We got Thrash Under Pressure to finish off. Let's finish off. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV signing in. Track number 9 of 9 on Impact is Imminent by Exodus, is entitled Thrash Under Pressure. It's a nice brief one to finish off, 2 minutes 39 seconds long. This entire listen through has gone out to my good friend Jim, who recommended this on the Patreon. Let's finish. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and...
Twice. 100% all out, nothing less. Aggressive, relentless, and mean. When the chips are down, never see us found. You'll only see flash under pressure. Flash under pressure. Heavy fucking sound, put your head into the ground.
Great sounding snare.
All the time there, we are going back.
Hardcore.
We've done it for so many years, rolling in the town and blowing out their ears. Parents are against, we try to keep the children fans in from the world and the evil influence. Like birds of a feather, we'll always stick together. We want you to know that we'll thrash forever. With my head held high, standing dignified, I still have my integrity. Never gave an inch and I never flinch when it came to my loyalty. 100% all out, nothing less. Aggressive, relentless, and mean. When the chips are down, never see us found. You'll only see flash under pressure. Flash under pressure.
Nice that they finished off with a one for the push party, one for the moshes there on the end. Not necessarily the best track on the record, but it didn't need to be, did it? They just wanted to polish it off with a nice little rager to finish, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I think that was a fair choice to do. I think that was a fair choice. Couldn't have finished it on Changing of the Guard. That was a better one to finish off with. Let's call it a night. I'm going to give you my final overview of this album as a whole. I'll rate out of 10 for you. And I'm going to go to sleep. See you there. What a guan. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. We just listened to Exodus and their album Impact is Imminent. 9 tracks recommended on the Patreon by my friend Jim. Thank you very much for this one, Jim. A bundle of thoughts and experience through the listen through of this record. Great riffs, great guitar tone. Bar track number 8, Changing of the Guard, for some reason sounded a bit silly to me. Like the guitar work sounded a bit muddy, a bit off, just a bit horrible to say the least. So disregarding that, overall the record, and it's a shame that I had to bring that up, track number 8 just sort of skewed my opinion of the record as a whole, because it was like one of the last songs I listened to before getting into this review, obviously, and everything was fine up until then. But great guitar tones, great production, great presence of instrumentation on there, great snare sound, great depth into the guitar. I like a big soft pillowy distortion on a guitar, and this provides it to me. Really good. Great heavy sounding guitars, lots of chunk in the guitar, great bass presence in the mix. You know, we don't go without a bass. Absolutely adore the vocal performance, love the vocal style, in my opinion. Very crossover, very punk infused, very snotty nosed, and just, you know, the attitude I want. Not old school to the degree where we're sounding like flipping some Iron Maiden heavy metal dude, and not metal to the point where it's just rid of any sort of characteristic and attitude I adore in my alternate music. The vocal performance is very good, very ignorant in my opinion. Not ignorant in the sense that, you know, not in a literal sense. There's no ignorance in the performance, but ignorant in the sense that it's just hard. It's good. You know, makes you want to go for a mooch in the pit. That's what I'm talking about. That's what a band like this needs to be doing. The last track's called Thrash Under Pressure. We want to be thrashing. We want to be king of the pitting. You know what I mean? Guitar work, as far as the guitar solos are okay. They're okay. What do you expect? You know, you're going to get shred guitar. It's all right. I'm not bothered. Nothing in particular that stood out to me in the lead guitar. Lyrically speaking, not too bad at all. These dudes have got a good way of putting a good hook together, you know. We're structured with choruses throughout this record. Why the hell not? They can put a good chorus together. Great mid-tempo riffs, great fast-tempo riffs. We don't have much filler at all. I'd say personally I'd remove track number 4 within the Walls of Chaos, and I'd flip and get rid of track number 8 as well. I'd compose a 7-track record with the material we had less, and I'd call it a day, honestly, and I think it'd be a fantastic record. I'm gonna rate this record a 7 out of 10. If we didn't have Changing of the Guard there, which I just hated, I thought it was a shit track, I'd give it a 7.5, which would be very respectable and very respectful from my behalf. I think the record sounds good. I think the production is good. I don't think it needs a remaster. I think the riffs sound really fun to play. I think Exodus come forth with a really fun product, and I'm more than happy to just call it a night on that one. What more do I need to say? It's thrash metal at its roots, you know, not as roots as it being grey and gritty and demo-esque. Like, obviously the sound has matured. We're talking 1990 on this record, but what we have here is thrash metal, you know, not groove, not death adjacent, not black influenced, not black metal influenced. You know, look to the roots of the rock and roll, you'll find black artists at the root of everything when it comes to this guitar malarkey, but this is thrash metal. What more needs to be said? I'm signing out on that note. Peace, one love. Goodbye.